small update. Talked about getting this door right. I still have to work this lower portion. I had to add a little bit of filler back here. I think that this is about ready. I work both of the back quarters or back fenders for the final time before I do my 2 or 3 coats of primer. So this is epoxy primer. I just put this over the area where there was still some fiberglass and or bare metal. Got all that coated and covered. So you can see the shape of the car now. Same thing on this side. You can see it really starting to take shape there. So yeah, that is the update. Oh yeah, also did the driver's side vertical line on the door. So got this one here, cut in, that door gap, and this one back here. I've got a little more tweaking to do. It's not quite wide enough, it's almost there. Went ahead and covered the bare metal there. There were some fiberglass and bare metal spots through the body, so I just went ahead and covered that with the epoxy primer. So we'll work this line back a little bit more, and then I'll have to finalize down here to get this nice and straight on the rocker underneath the door. Then the back half of the car will be done. We'll mount the fenders and work on the front half. Yeah, and I went ahead and took care of this. This is the rear filler panel for the rear bumper, which we may not use, but I went ahead and did epoxy primer. I'm gonna just hit this with probably, I don't know, maybe 1 coat of primer, then I'll block it with 400, 600, then we'll just go ahead and paint this. Since I'm not sure if this is going to be used, it's just going to be a filler between the back of the car, which bolts up here, and the back bumper, which is going to sit here. And depending on which back bumper gets used, this is probably going to get cut off. So we'll just be mainly focused on getting this top portion of the cap. Yep, my hands are dusty. Top portion of the cap painted, and that should be good there. I think the fenders are decent. I did a little bit of work in the front of this one, which I may still have a little bit of work to do on that radius. Seems like that spot is actually high, so I may have to take the hammer to that. Filled in a spot on the headlight on that one, and this one. This isn't really super flat, so I may end up doing a little bit more work on that one. And then I did a little work back here to fill in that one low spot from several months back. So they're closer to when we put them on the car. Should be able to do maybe just 1 skim coat, probably just go straight to primer. That's my hope. I think now that I've got these vertical lines on the door where they need to be at, this bottom line between the door and the body, I will sand that with the car on the ground, but to do the rocker, I'm going to actually lift the car up on the lift, get it up in the air, and then I'll work this line across here on this rocker and the one on the other side. That way I don't have to sit on the ground, and I have a little bit better viewpoint. So maybe we'll do just a video on working your rockers from nothing to something. Although I didn't work from nothing. Technically, David worked them from nothing to something. And now I'm taking his something and just smoothing it out. So I'm doing the easy part. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Yeah, who am I kidding? Putting this thing back together from scratch was definitely no easy task. So yeah, I got the easy part. All right, well, all I'm going to do is wave my hand over the camera, and it's the next day. I have done a lot more work off camera as to not bore you guys to death with watching this car and watching me sand and sand and sand. And then we're going to prime it and sand some more. I went my door jambs, I cut those lines there, and then I've gone back and filled in some inconsistencies along the rocker panel where there were some waves or low spots. I'm not too sure. There's kind of like a low spot here. I'm not sure if that's going to be covered by the seal plate or what goes there. So we're going to go in about 4 inches from the edge and make sure that all this is flat, or as flat as can be, across this area here. And I got to finish my sanding inside the door jamb. I'm using this little big kid block here. You see that? I'm basically just going in here just like this. Then we'll come through and prime everything, and of course sand it again. I've got to come in here and just run a skim coated filler across this area. There's like a little low spot right there, and a high spot right there. A couple high spots back here. I'm not sure what goes on here, if it's a piece of rubber or a piece of metal, but we'll just paint about 4 to 6 inches back on the body, so we make sure we have all this painted, all that painted, and then up through there painted. So whatever interior they put in will wrap around and match the paint. Same thing on this side, just a little bit of cleanup in the door jamb. Basically the same thing you saw on the other side. You can see that we just have some areas that we're gonna go through, sand, clean up. This is just to kind of smooth things out. Everybody wants to see the body line, so there you go. There's your door line. There's the door jamb. She came out pretty good. There's some dust down there, so it kind of distorts the view a little bit, but yeah, she's where she needs to be at. It's been a lot of hours to get it there, but it looks good. And the gap here, same thing with the hood. It's just up right now, but I'll push that down so my naysayers can't naysay. So yeah, there you go. There are your gaps. I kind of vary all over the body of this car. I've put them back as close as I can get them with the allowed material without going and, you know, hand forming a bunch of stuff, which has already been hand formed, like the whole bottom of these doors and rockers. All this was done by hand. But yeah, so lines look good. They're decent. And I just got a little touch-up sanding doing the door jambs, and I think that we're going to wrap this thing up and go ahead and get it in primer. Yeah, just a little bit of door jamb work. So yeah, big moves. I am going to turn you guys back on when I'm wrapping things up, and then we'll get this thing primed.